It's Jonelle again. So today we're going to go over the second page of the transition plan. This page really does go over the graduation requirements and looking at a couple of questions at the end. So at the beginning, it does ask about the course of study. So a multi-year description of the student's coursework from current year to anticipated year. In order to enable the student to meet their post-secondary goals, you want to mark yes. And in this box, you're going to provide a description of the program, their course that they're taking, their classes, and this is where you can also add in information about whether or not their classes are leading to a diploma or a certificate of completion. You can attach a transcript to the IEP. I don't think you're able to cut and paste and add that information in here, but you can add in what the high school graduation requirements are in here. So for students in a high school getting a high school diploma, it is 230 units in order to graduate from a comprehensive high school, but there are exceptions because we have students who attend Robertson as well as students who are in foster care who do need significantly less credits in order to graduate, but please make sure that you're connecting with your administrators and or your counselors in order to get this information. Because for students in foster care, there is a certain form that needs to be completed and approved through Student Support Services. So please do make sure that you're connecting with your admin and counselors in regards to checking to see if the student has acquired their appropriate units. All right. So for the video, we have Sarah Brown. We listed her graduation requirements for high school and has also wrote that Sarah had completed her first year of high school and had acquired all of her credits. She's currently starting her second year in high school, which is in progress. She also has completed 40 hours of community service learning and is on track to graduate at this point. So please see the attached transcript for further details. It asks about units and credits completed. So far, because she's only been in school for 1 year, she was able to complete 60 units. And she still has 170 left in order for her to graduate. The anticipated completion date is what date do you expect the student to be graduating from high school with their diploma, or if they're leaving with a certificate of completion. So you want to make sure that you have that date in here. And normally for us, it's the second Wednesday of June that the students are usually graduating. So right now we expect her to graduate June 14th of 2023. And we also indicate here whether or not the student is acquiring a certificate of completion or a diploma. Please make sure that this is an IEP team discussion and you're not just picking which one you think the student should be receiving. So make sure that you have that conversation in your IEP. Age of majority. So before the student turns 17, the student must be informed that once they turn 18, they assume all legal rights for their education and decision making. So when you have the conversation with a student, you want to make sure that you're putting down your name. So you've had this and you're able to provide them information about their age of majority and the date as to when you provided that. So actually in this case, there is a link that I'll put at the bottom of the video, which sends you to our special ed online handbook. It talks about the age of majority and a student's rights. So you can go ahead and click on that link so you can see that. And I will actually be changing this date because this is old. So we're going to say that this was provided to the student in September of 2020. All right. So for conservatorship, you want to really make sure that if a student is conserved, we have to have some sort of evidence or paperwork that lets us know that a student is conserved. So until we see that paperwork from a family member, if they are conserving the student or even partial conservatorship, then you need to mark no until you actually have that paperwork. Okay? The 4 questions that are here at the bottom: is there an appropriate measurable post-secondary goal that covers education or training, employment, and as needed independent living? All of these questions should be marked yes. So if you're thinking about a question that may be no, then you need to go back to the transition plan and review it. Is the post-secondary goals addressed or updated in conjunction with the development of the annual IEP? So are you able to update the goals as part of that IEP? Do we need to adjust any of the transition goals if they, let's say your transition goal was for the student to get their driver's license and they did. So once that has happened, what additional transition goal are you creating for the student? In relation, obviously, to what it is that they're wanting to do for post high school, either career, education, or independent living. Are there transition services included in the IEP that will reasonably enable the student to meet his or her post-secondary goals? So what are we doing to support the student? Are these services built into the IEP? And this is where we had discussed that on page 1, the transition services would auto-populate onto the actual service page, okay? And are there annual goals included in the IEP that are related to the student's transition service needs? Yes, because we did talk about on page 1, creating a transition goal for the student that relates to what they want to do for post-high school programs. Okay? Well, if you have any questions, feel free to check out our online handbook. Thank you.